Ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good afternoon to you. On behalf of Gillette, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this very exciting afternoon, an afternoon which promises some engaging conversation between some brilliant men, some great sportsmen, and some role models in the truest sense of the word. The initiative, Because You Are a Role Model, encourages men, may they be cricketers, sportsmen, actors, men of words, or just generally great dads, to display role model behavior by showing values of inner steel. Now, dads are always role models for their sons, and there's some father-son moments, some dad and son moments, which are absolutely unforgettable. Like the moment when a dad teaches his son how to shave for the first time. It's exciting, it's emotional, it's beautiful because it is that step that a boy takes, from childhood into manhood. And I have to say, it's really exciting to be a part of an event like this, seeing so many dads and sons gathered over here, sharing their relationship, being a part of an event as beautiful and big as this. So a big, big thank you to all of you for your enthusiasm and participation. A big round of applause for all of you. This is going to be a momentous occasion, ladies and gentlemen. Rahul, always, always a pleasure to meet you.
Lovely to see you.
He is thorough gentleman, exemplifies inner steel values. He is, actually there's no better fit for Gillette than a man like him. So we'd like to know, to begin with, your thoughts on this initiative.
I think it's a fantastic initiative. I think all of us have that memory. I think every one of us have that memory of growing up and watching our fathers shave, and sort of sneaking in and watching him shave every day, and especially me and my brother, just watching my father shave every day, and just sort of wondering when would we grow up, and when would we get the chance to shave, and that almost seemed like a sort of rite of passage that you sort of, I'm a grown-up man now, I can actually use my father's razor and shave, and he always used a Gillette, so it almost seemed like obvious that I would grow up and just use his razor. So I think it's a fantastic initiative because it recognizes that relationship, it recognizes that bond, it recognizes so many things about a father-son relationship.
We'll talk about your relationship with your father. We have on previous occasions as well. But Father's Day has just gone by, and what did your sons do for you on Father's Day? What did they do for their dad? What kind of relationship do you have with your two beautiful sons?
It's a fantastic relationship. I'm learning a lot about. You suddenly feel a lot more responsible about everything you do. I think you suddenly realize that your children are watching you, and your two sons are watching everything you do and everything you say. Even a small thing like driving the car, and whether you stop at a red light, and what things that you do, they watch all your actions. And I think that's something that I've learned from my father, that you sort of watch so much. And he was not about giving big speeches or big lectures. My father was never one for that. But he was someone who I think I could learn a lot from just following what he did, and the way he led his life and the simplicity with which he led his life, I think was a great lesson for me. So it's just something that I'm conscious of as a father myself, that my children are growing up and they're watching everything that I do.
Well, you've been a role model for so many young boys and men even before you became a father. So was that transition easy? When I'm a dad, well, I've been a role model for lots of young boys, and I've myself.
No, I think it's a lot different because I think when you're in a public space and you're playing it's a lot more a controlled environment. So you're in control of whatever you're saying and doing a lot more than you are at home. So I think it's a lot more tougher at home. And I think, your children challenge you as well. They will push back and they will challenge you and they will say, why? And my elder son is growing old enough to now question and ask questions. So it is a lot more difficult and it is a lot more challenging, but also, hugely enjoyable and great fun.
Now tell me about, you've always had a very close and warm and a wonderful relationship with your father. What kind of a role model was he to you?
Look, I think just from even just from a cricketing perspective, my father was a huge role model because my earliest memories are actually of him. We had a black transistor radio at home, and of him actually listening to commentary. Whether it was India playing in the West Indies and listening to Gavaskar score 100, or India playing in England. In those days, my dad would tune on to the radio and he would listen to the commentary, and just I would sit with him and listen to him, and he would tell me stories. And Sunil Gavaskar was his sort of he was a big fan of Sunil Gavaskar. So he would tell me stories about Gavaskar and what Gavaskar did in '71, and how he's grown up. So I think even from those young days, just that inspiration and the passion for the game is something that I imbibed from him and learned from him. I mean, even when he had leave and he had a weekend off, and if there was even a Ranji Trophy match in Karnataka, my dad would take me to watch Vishwanath and Brijesh Patel play, or Chandrasekhar bowl, or Prasanna bowl. So I have memories of way back as a 5-6-year-old kid going to the KCA Stadium to watch Ranji Trophy matches. So I think I owe a huge debt in that sense to him, in terms of just giving me the love and a passion for the game. And I think that's something that sort of came true from him.
That's what gave us Rahul Dravid. So we're very lucky and very thankful to your father. But 2 seconds ago, you said something about was it a fun moment or an emotional moment or an exciting moment?
I finished 10th standard and I was going into college, and we studied in a boys' school.
So he shaved for the first time in the 10th standard.
No, no, I was going into first PUC in college, and it was a co-ed college. So I hadn't shaved till then. So I kind of thought, if I was going into the co-ed college and there were going to be girls for the first time in class, I might as well look a bit presentable.
Aha! So 1 minute. Can I tell you this? I never thought I'd get this out of Rahul Dravid. It was a girl-related decision. He was going to a co-ed college, and so he said, I must shave. I think I must shave. But was it with your dad?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was my dad's razors. My dad had the razors, and I said, yeah. And so he said, yeah, I think you should use my razors, so yeah, I mean, I don't think he had to teach me how to shave. I'll be honest. I think, just watching him over the years, you just kind of figure how it's done. But yeah, but it was his razors. It was his Gillette razors that I used for the first time.
So that Gillette razor was a single blade. We should give you the best a man can get. And so we're down now to 5 blades in a razor, 5-blade fusion. So what are your thoughts on the evolvement of the razor?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think, that's one of the great things of being involved with Gillette for me personally has been just the technology and the innovation at a company that Gillette, has. And it keeps improving all the time. Every time I come to an event, or I've been associated with them for so many years now, and I keep seeing new technology come in. And it's great that it's come into India now. I remember going on my first few tours outside
buying blades
and buying Gillette razors. Yeah, first thing you do is you go out and buy that. But now you don't have to. It's all available in India, so it's fantastic. Technology keeps improving. It's great to just see the India colors on it as well, the blue and the orange.
I was going to ask you that.
So it's nice. Yeah,
does it make you feel patriotic when you shave every morning? The India colors, India engraved on it. It's a special razor indeed, special for India.
I do feel patriotic generally, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have that. It's nice to sort of, I guess in a way support your country, and especially with so many sporting events happening around the world and so many Indians taking part. I guess when you get up in the morning and you're looking forward to watching India play in a match, or thinking about what Saina Nehwal might be doing in a badminton competition somewhere. Right. If you're shaving the shave, at least you're thinking about it.
That's cool. I like that. I like the whole Saina Nehwal angle. All right. Now it is my... it's great. Yeah, it's great to see sports people anywhere in the world from India performing well. And when you're shaving with that India razor, you feel even more patriotic. Yeah. Right. Okay. It is now my pleasure to... What a lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you 2 seconds to take pictures. What a fantastic lineup of people we have here. Arbaaz, first up. अच्छा, पहले आपको पिक्चर लेना है, पर पिक्चर के बहुत मौके मिलने वाले हैं. बहुत मौके मिलने वाले हैं, please. Right. Okay. Arbaaz,
Here. Definitely, to answer your question, Mandira, my father has been definitely very inspirational and has been a role model for me. I kind of try to emulate him in every possible way and try to, walk along his footsteps. There are so many things that I've imbibed from him and learned from him, and I wish some of the qualities that he has, I have, and I can pass them on to my son.
okay, we'll talk about that in just a bit, but Mr. Khan, I would like to ask you, you've always stood for so much. You've been a role model to not just your sons. Before your sons, you've been a role model to so many other people. But when your sons came along, you were a role model to them. How did you inculcate the values that Arbaaz is talking about? How did you, in day-to-day life, how did you practically inculcate values in your sons?
No, the most important thing is that you have to lead from the front. And you have to set your...
Spoken like a true cricket fan.
Yeah, and you have to lead from the front and you have to set an example, a very good example. I mean, the most important thing is that I believe, and I firmly believe, that you cannot possibly love anybody whom you don't respect. First, you have to, get that respect from the children for you to, for them to love you. And then when they love you, you can ask them so many things, and they will, obey all those things. And then commitment is the most important thing. I mean, even I used to take my casual commitments very seriously. One day my son Sohail said, whenever I'm interacting with people, those who have worked with you and all that, they genuinely talk very highly about you. And I said, Sohail, it is not difficult, you can also do the same thing. But most of the time you say, Daddy, are you at home? I'm coming for a drink. And you don't come, but you don't even inform me that you are not coming. I said that I take my casual commitment also. If I say I'll meet you tomorrow, I'll go and meet him. Whether it is transaction in money, whether it is a commitment, any kind of a commitment, I take it very seriously. I don't take it casually. And I am very punctual. And most important thing is that tell your children not to lie. The first problem starts from lying. And I have also, in that also, I have set an example. So this is very important.
Thank you. Do you take your casual commitments seriously?
I do, and there's one thing that like I said, he's been an extremely punctual person, and...
Can I tell you, everybody was on time for this event. Everybody. Everybody here is punctual.
Yeah. And he told me that, you'll be punctual, but there will be something like a tragedy attached to it. Like, more often than not, there'll be nobody there to appreciate it, But still, you still have to be on time because that's something that I'd really learned from him. Even if I have to go out for, like he said, for very casual commitments, I tend to be on time.
I incident while he was growing up, he was about 8 years old. So he was interested in cricket and he was interested in singing also. So yeah, Arbaaz. So I took him to Khar Gymkhana and I've got I used to have a lot of friends there and I introduced them and I wanted him to be a cricketer. And after a few days practice and we have kept a singing master also, music master, and he was learning to sing also. One day I was sitting with my drink and he came and said, Daddy, what do you think I should take up as a career? I said, singing or cricket? I said, you should take up cricket. I said, have you seen me batting? I said, no, I have heard you singing.
Nice one. Now, for a dad who actually encouraged his son to get into cricket, before I speak to the dad, I'm going to speak to the son. Ashwin, your father has been a part of so many firsts in your life, and you share a wonderful rapport with him. Even just now, backstage, when I was talking to you, he's very protective of his father, and that's a wonderful thing. But share with us some of your experiences with your dad, unforgettable moments, firsts, maybe.
See, it's actually good evening to everyone. Sorry, first of all. And when it comes to my dad, yes, I am a little bit protective because right from the age when I started even going to school, everything has been first with my dad because I was the only kid in the family, and more than my mom. My mom was a working lady. My dad was with the government, was a government employee, so he was able to spare everything for me in the sense he used to take me to school, drop me at school, pick me up back, take me to cricket classes. Including matches, he used to stand right in front of the side screen and watch the game right from the start to the end. So his commitment towards his son, more than making me into anybody, like a cricketer or a student or an engineer or whatever it is, he was very, very particular that I was brought up in the right fashion, with the right values. Like he was just saying, he could never accept me lying. Even if I was... We had a lot of firsts for saying I love to play alongside him in the terrace and on the streets. So he was very, very encouraging of the fact that I could hit the ball. Even if I brought down the neighbors' windows, he was okay with it. He used to go and actually fight with them and say, okay, I'll pay it up. You don't have to shout at my son. So he's a very good dad in terms of giving me freedom. And also he meant that if I'd made any mistakes, he would definitely tell me, he would encourage me to come and tell him the truth rather than actually say, no, I didn't do this and do that. So he was in those ways, he was very, very good, bringing me up ethically right and very disciplined as well.
That's wonderful.